I, as a citizen of this city, have been sort of laid bare by this event. Probably at no time in the near future will I be able to announce where I'm from without being associated with this event. I can imagine every stranger I encounter for the next 10 years asking me if I was present when the levees broke, asking me if I was one of the people whose home or whose neighborhood was devastated. It becomes another layer of identity in my life. I'm colored by it.
When they talk about rebuilding the culture, we don't have to rebuild the culture. The culture is still here. We didn't lose anything. We lost land and we lost population, which you always lose. And this culture keeps growing. You know, it's not rebuild the culture. You know, we still have the music, we still have the arts. It's unfortunate that the people in harm's way will have to move. And when they come back, it's going to be a different situation for them.
I came back here to tarp the roof just as soon as they let the general population in. And I went back to my hometown, Jacksonville, to recruit a gallery there to represent me and to do some painting for them. And it was during that trip that I really started to get the itch to get back here and to do my duty to document all of this with my painting style, basically.
New Orleans is a city of very strong neighborhoods, people who love their city. Been here for generations. They want to come back, whether it's the Lower Ninth, Lakeview, Uptown.
Do you think it's possible to totally rebuild certain areas, like the Lower Ninth?
Well, anything's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Is it probable? No. Is it going to happen? No. It's possible, sure. You know, if we can spend billions of dollars sending people to other countries to fight a war and to look for individuals in caves with night gear, yeah, it's possible. How is it not possible? You know, is it probable? I don't think that our country is that concerned with, you know, rebuilding New Orleans. I think that's less of a priority than other places where we spent the large sums of money.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's just unfortunate. You know, it's like, you know, America was kind of founded on that kind of attitude, though. What did you have? Slavery and the Wild West. So you had the gunslingers, people going out killing, and then you had, you know, the whole institution of slavery at the same time, basically running side by side. So that's kind of where we are now. The people who are poor, and it's not so much a color thing I'm talking about. People who are of the lower class are disregarded, and you have the gunslingers. So right now, we have the gunslingers, and that's where our money is going toward. And that's kind of the way that we've been trained to feel that we'll be safe. If we maintain these wars and we kill off these people, then we'll be safe. But I don't think that the safety and the security of the people in New Orleans is a priority, or the well-being. It's just the way it is. It's just, that's how this country is. You know, it's, as Dr. Phil would say, well, it's been this way. It can't upset you. That's what it is. It can upset you, but that's how it's been. That's how it's going to stay. So we have to figure out how to work inside of that and make a change the best way that we can.
I don't think that an artist has to necessarily be in a particular mood to produce a work that reflects that mood. But I do think that there are instances where an artist can and should take advantage of feelings and emotions and channel it into the work if it serves the work.
I just, you know, had all these feelings of sadness and you know, empathy for people who got hurt, the economy, the stores that got hurt, people who drowned, people died, people who can't come back. You know, I've gone deeper into my art as a consequence to all this this hurricane business as a way to cope with it. And for a long time there was curfew, you couldn't go anywhere. Somehow just kind of make myself feel better. It vent my emotions instead of keeping it bottled up, just to release it onto the canvas.
I don't think that the art will change dramatically, but I think that there are certain elements, there's a certain type of innocence, again, that the country has lost. And it seems strange that now we would still have innocence, but I think that here in the South, there always existed a certain, kind of innocence, and that had to do with the disparity in the classes and how polarized the city is. I see its innocence because we just kind of didn't really deal with it. We didn't really put up with it. But I think that it's been exposed to such a degree, not only from the standpoint of the way that the attitudes are here in the city, but the way that the country's attitude is towards the poorer class of people, that I think that the musicians will have a different attitude in that respect. You see, because I would just say it's kind of like a loss of a certain type of innocence that the music will have from this point forward.
As far as my group of friends and the artists I know, there's definitely been a change. I mean, like you see Phil Sandusky's work, who normally just paints what he sees. That's what he does. He's much more interested in the concept of visual awareness than he is in actual scenery. So he's now just painting what he sees, which is the Ninth Ward and everything down there. So. And myself, I have a different approach. I'm a little bit more, not so much what I see, but what I've seen. Like some of my paintings from that last show had, like the Searching the Debris, which was an image I'd seen at night one night in Mississippi. We went back to Mississippi. A lot of my friends and family live there. Going through the rubble, looking for things in their, in their homes, and just kind of, just looking for stuff. I saw this wonderful scene of people looking at the sun was setting behind it, and the people were searching through this debris, and there's just it's just there's so little to look for that you're finding golf clubs and maybe silverware.
In the past, I've been more interested in conveying a feeling, more specifically than a response that could be verbalized. And there are more literal aspects of the work now. I feel less hesitant about exposing aspects of the composition about which I feel more sensitive. And I think part of that is a response to my current emotional state.
What was the first painting you did when you got back?
It was actually seemed very tame by any of the later paintings I did. We went to Mid-City, and we drove in there, and it's amazing how at that time how uneasy we felt about it. But the first painting that I did, really wasn't successful. But eventually, when we painted in Mid-City, I think I got a painting that really captured that muck that was on the cars there, that flood water filtrate. It was actually really quite interesting because it looked like litho stratification that you see in rocks, because the water level had raised and lowered, and it was so heavy in Mid-City. I mean, there's places that got flooded much worse, but the flood water must have been the dirtiest there because it traveled so far across the gritty urban landscape.